we are looking at old settlements here, of an aerial view of old settlements on the banks of the Grand Canal and on the edge of the Great Bog of Allen. At the time, a lot of families existed but just couldn't turf, and of course they had a ready-made sale because of the proximity of the canal bringing the turf to Dublin. And we start off here in Derrymullin, and this what you're looking at there is an aerial view of the Ennis household. That house dates back into the 1700s and was the home place of John and Bridget Ennis, who reared 8 children in this house. And it was quite a nice little settlement. They had pigs, hens. You see here now the porch, and the porch is the only piece of the building remaining, and because the porch was galvanised iron, it saved the walls from falling in. The rest of it was mud wall, but you can't see the track of it. And it was a three apartment, or 3 rooms in it, a kitchen and 2 bedrooms. There you see the walkway up to the Grand Canal. Other houses in the proximity of the Ennis household was Lawlers, Millses and Moores. And very shortly then, after north of the Ennis household, the townsland of Allenwood south. And we're looking here at what was the home of, in 1944, Mahi Lyson or Leeson. The name has been different on the different centres. But there was many households in around this area. This would be east of the Scow Bridge, but it's in actually Allenwood south. And Leeson's family was there. This is the actual track of the house, you can see. The last family to live there was McDonough's, and they left there in 1964-65. Now there was other families lived in there, Percival's, Taylors, Mosh, Taylor, Duggins. Over to the left then you had Maloney's. And Maloney's, a lot of these families moved out under the Wyndham Act. It was under British rule, where they were moving people back onto the good lands and to a more sustainable way of farming. Because with the bog here, well, they had turf, but it would not be very good soil for growing vegetables. Traditionally they grew rye, which the rye straw was very useful for thatching, but they were also able to eat the fruit of the rye, and that grew well in the bog. There was also another man there called Dick Carew lived in there, and some people would know this place as Carew's. We would have always called it licenses. But they were very self-sufficient people, because there were dams and trees, and rows of dams and trees. There was crab apples, and you'll see the big yew tree there as well. We're heading further up towards Allenwood South, and just a reminder here that from the Derrymullin, Allenwood South, that is the start of the Great Bog of Allen, and is the biggest single stretch of bog in Europe. It stretches from Derrymullin to Dangan, a distance of 40 kilometres. We're looking there at the other laneway now, and on the right hand side there, many of the older members might remember, there was a football field there on the right hand side. It's totally in swamp now because nature has taken it back, but a lot of great games were held between the young people from Derrymullin, Allenwood South and Ballyteague in a place called the Hollow. Again, it's all very much grown over, and nature has reclaimed it. Here you can see the great expansive bog that is the Great Bog of Allen. see the Grand Canal. The Grand Canal, and a lot of the place along there wasn't dug, it was built up. You see Allenwood village, and if you notice the greenery around there, as opposed to the other side where you have bog. But the Grand Canal was a lifeline for these people in Derrymullin and Allenwood South because of the traffic on the canals, and a lot of people worked on the canals. And again, you see the start of the Great Bog of Allen as opposed to the green farmland in the background. Heading across now towards Wood, which was a Pullock, a Healy's and Holmes's Pullock. Scow Bridge. So that's a nice aerial view of Allenwood South and Derrymullin